Welcome back to another episode of Ryan's Real Estate Review. This is a special edition for Pier 57. In the first episode of Ryan's Real Estate Review, Pier 57 was my featured worst property. Today, we're here with the developer of Pier 57 in Pier 57. So I'm here with Ariel Grunwald from Pier 57, the developer. So Ariel, hello. How are you today?
Good.
Good, nice
Very
to
happy
be
to be
with
with you.
Thank you, you as well. So how did you become a developer?
Well, truth, I was always interested since I was a kid in how physical spaces affect human interaction. So it's funny, when I was 12, 13, 14, I used to gather all my friends at home. Everyone always used to come to my house. My house was like a community center. And my sole purpose was to serve them, and I moved furniture around and light and music and plants and flower vases and flower pots and everything, because I realized that the way things are set up affected how people feel and how people relate to each other. And that sense of space, that love of people grew in me. And when it was time to go to college, I decided to go to architecture school because I was interested in the idea of spaces. I also was interested in the idea of how a city influences behavior of people, and that's how it grew into me, this idea of creating spaces for people.
What made you decide to choose Puerto Vallarta?
It wasn't my choice, let's say. I mean, I feel like life took me and threw me in Puerto Vallarta. I was living in Mexico City, and then I decided to move to Miami, and I was looking into some projects there, and just simply nothing moved the way I was expecting it to move. And then an old friend of mine who's been a developer for a long time in Puerto Vallarta, he told me, hey, listen, why don't you come to Puerto Vallarta and we do a project together? So I told him, listen, I can't impose on my family to move to Puerto Vallarta. And then a few months later, as things weren't moving forward the way I was expecting them to in Miami, I told my wife, you know what, let's go for a few weeks to Puerto Vallarta. We actually came here for our honeymoon 8 years ago. And let's go to Puerto Vallarta for a few weeks. Let's check it out. Let's see how we feel being there. So we came for a few weeks and we fell in love. So you know what? I really see myself and my family enjoying it like crazy. I see my kids growing up, being close to us. We went to see a school. I mean, my son goes to school barefoot. I find it the coolest thing ever.
How was it developing a building here in Puerto Vallarta?
In the business world, since business is for profit, most people in the business world operate in their minds as I'm gonna do this for profit. And personally, I don't really work that way inside. I mean,
It wasn't for profit?
well, listen, making money and having a comfortable life is great, and I wish it to everyone. But the truth of the matter is what truly makes me happy is being loyal and being true to my values. And my core values have to do with serving other people. My core values have to do with doing things right, thinking of others and putting others before my own interest, which is a daily exercise to fight with yourself and say what's uncomfortable and expose yourself and put other people's needs or desires before you. Mm-hmm. But in the big picture, that's what makes me happy. So if I need to put people or profit first, I always choose people because that's what makes me happy. And I don't think I came to the world to make money. I think I came to the world to be happy. Nice. To experience as much joy as possible and to be a conduit and to be the cause of bringing the most joy possible to other people. So that's the way I operate. So it's been a little bit difficult for me because in business, it's funny, most people put themselves first, second, and third. And they forget about the big picture, which is people. We're here to serve people. So it's been challenging to get used to that. I totally refuse to get used to that. I'm slowly shaping my team to be surrounded by only people who think of others first, second, and third. Because in the big picture, when you think of others first, you are the one who wins. Because the only true win is when everyone wins. If I win and you lose, we both lose at the end. So I'm slowly educating the people around me. I'm slowly making sure I don't get infected with the selfish gene that prevails in the world for profit. And I'm enjoying. Mexicans are amazing. Vallarta is amazing. There's great experts and great professionals. I've had a good experience. Just suffered a little bit from the mañana gene. You know, I'm from Chile and I lived many years in the States. I'm used to a situation in which if you say it's Tuesday morning, it's Tuesday morning. I don't need to check on you for it to be Tuesday morning. I don't need to stress about it on Monday because I know you'll be there on Tuesday. But here it's crazy. It's crazy. Actually, I do need to worry a lot on Sunday because probably you won't make it on Tuesday. So it's been funny to do quality control on other people's work instead of them doing their own quality control on their own work. Mm-hmm. But it's fine. I'm also enjoying it. I've had the chance to learn a lot from people and also to teach people a lot about the way I think or the way I work.
So when I trashed Pier 57,
I enjoyed it.
Some of the things I pointed out though were you built the largest rooftop pool in Latin America.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
First of all, I enjoyed your show, and I even enjoyed the fact that you were trashing us because what can I tell you? I was happy. I was enjoying it, and I enjoyed to approach you, and I enjoyed that you allowed us to have this space to explain why we are more expensive. Because I am aware. I mean, you said we are the worst because we're too expensive, and of course we are aware that we're 30% more expensive than everyone else in town. Mm-hmm. But also, I'm aware to the fact that the street in which we're located is one of the only streets in the core of the romantic zone that never floods. Right now we're on the 3rd floor, and if you look out the window, you'll see that we're in exactly the same height as everybody else's penthouse. Mm-hmm. So our 3rd floor is as high as everybody else's penthouse. We have ocean views from the 2nd floor up, which, you know, it's a shame, but most projects in town don't have ocean view at all, even from the highest floors. And also we did a lot of effort to do something amazing, and that 30% higher prices that people are paying is something that we're giving back to them. How are we giving it back to them? We're giving it back to them through a building that has foundations of a 30-story tower, because we have so many trees up there and we have so much wet soil and we have so much water up there that to hold that amount of water and that amount of soil and that amount of trees and that size of trees in a region that is prone to earthquakes, it's like really an engineering feat. Mm-hmm. And we invested a lot of energy, a lot of money on doing that. We hired international engineer consulting companies to advise us on how to do this amazing thing, which is having in a private condominium the biggest rooftop pool deck in Latin America. And so there's not one hotel, there's nobody else anywhere under the Rio Grande, under down south that has anything near what we have, and it's just for 60 people. And I think that's amazing. We gave that value back to people by putting, imported Italian kitchens and German faucetry and the Italian and Spanish amazing huge marble slabs. We gave that money to people having, almost 10-foot high ceilings and recessed light everywhere and the highest quality materials and appliances, really in everything. We're really doing everything. Even the gym hasn't arrived yet, but we have the best equipment with TV and computer and social media and FaceTime from your treadmill, and you can almost, take a ride around town in the elliptical machine. So we're really trying to give that value back to people, and that's why it's more expensive. And I think slowly, as people saw what it is, they realized it and they paid for it. And that's why we only have 16 units left. We 80% sold, because people realize that. I mean, if I'm gonna pay 300 next door with that pool, with those finishes, with that location, in a street that floods all the time, with a lot of noise, with a lot of buses, with construction workers smoking weed at 6 p.m. outside my condo, with parties and people yelling at night. Well, I might as well pay $350 and be in this crazy place with the best European finishes, high ceilings, view from everywhere, with the craziest, most amazing rooftop ever. So in a quiet street with a view. So we felt that it was fair, that it's fair, and that extra money that people are investing and putting out, it's something that we're giving back to them in value. And that's why, in a way, I got offended. Let's say I didn't get offended, but in a way, I got offended when I heard the worst. Because hey, we are the worst because we're more expensive, but we are giving that value back to them. It's like saying that that Nobu, sushi, it's the worst sushi place in New York because it's too expensive. Let's say whatever. No, it's not the worst sushi place in New York. I mean, the location is prime, the service is amazing, everything is amazing, the food is amazing. They fly in hamachi, yellowtail from Japan every single freaking day. And that has a value, and you're paying for that, but they're giving that value back to you.
Exactly.
So, and that's what we aim for excellence, but not for a selfish excellence in which we want to take your money and take it home. No, we want to do something great, and yes, it's more expensive and it has more value. And I'm pretty sure that that's gonna translate in the rentals that people are gonna rent this place for, and I'm sure it's gonna translate in the resales, because also these luxury, high quality finishes might not look so spectacular today, but 5, 10, 15 years down the road, when somebody else's condo has a rusty faucet, and then you come to your condo in Pier 57 and you see the faucet looks exactly the same that it looked like 15 years ago, and it's time to sell your condo, people say, man, I want that one. Condo number B is totally run down and it's whatever, and this place rocks. And I've seen it happen with previous projects that my business partner did in Puerto Vallarta, and either way, Pier 57 is way superior in quality than anything he did before. Wow. And so that's gonna really show here. I
just want to ask too, what was your idea behind the convertible rooms? Because one feature of Pier 57 is that your space is convertible. It can be a one bedroom, a 2-bedroom, it can be completely open.
We feel that people, nowadays, most of us spend all day long in the phone, in the computer, in the iPad, in the iPhone, whatever. And people, when we are off the phone, we are very eager and very desirous to be together, to interact with each other. I see people here in town that just sit in places to people watch. They like people watching because they want to feel the warmth of interacting with other people. And we felt also for a space, for a small condominium, this is only 1,150 square foot, people want to have the ability to be with each other. And also we realized that the market is a lot of couples that rent it out, or couples that share their condo. So we wanted to make it in a way that it's a huge 1-bedroom palace or a very cool 2-bedroom place, but that you can totally use and feel the connection with the second bedroom when you're not using it as a bedroom. So we wanted to create this situation in which you can open it all and feel that you have a 1,200 square foot luxury hotel suite, or you can have very functional 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, kitchen, living room, balcony, and the dining room, very functional, very useful. So we were inspired by that, by having people interact with each other, have it all open. My business partner Alfredo had that tendency already for many years. I live in one of the condos that we built, and the master bedroom merges together with the living room, and it's the most amazing feeling in the world. I mean, I wake up in the morning, I open the sliding door from side to side, floor to ceiling, and my kids are playing in the living room, or I'm in the living room laying in the couch watching a show on Netflix, and my kids are playing in my bed, and we're talking to each other, and it feels amazing. So the idea that there's no walls, no doors, no boundaries, it feels great. So it didn't appeal to everyone, but for those who got it, who felt it, it appealed a lot to them. Now that I started learning and reading books and watching documentaries about minimalistic architecture and tiny houses, which I'm very excited about, I realized, you know what? I have 1,200 square foot and 10 feet high ceilings to play with. I can totally fit my family here with enough space to do everything and with enough space to be together like crumbled eggs. And I love it. Probably I won't do it, but I dig it. I feel it. I just get it. I love the way it is. I love the glasses that we chose. There's a lot of things that I wasn't sure about, but now that it's done, I'm very happy with what we got.
Thanks again for watching this special episode of Ryan's Real Estate Review. As you can see, after reviewing Pier 57, it doesn't appear to be the worst property on my list. Pier 57 is actually one of the nicest units available for purchase still in Puerto Vallarta. So if you're interested in one of the remaining units at Pier 57, or if you're interested in getting in early in Soho House, be sure to contact me today.